Hello and welcome back to Meeples and Mysteries. My name is Nuno. And my name is Johnny. And today we are doing a first impressions review of Warp's Edge, a solo board game. Let's go. As always, if you want to help support me, there is a Ko-Fi link below where you can support me directly. And there's also an Etsy store link where me and my wife sell board game accessories, so both of those options are available. Now, moving forward, Warp's Edge is one of the games I've been playing the most this year. It's one of my favorite games of all time, seriously. It's about time I've done this. I think I've played the game more than enough to not call this a first impressions, but I still think I've not scratched the surface, and this game keeps surprising me, so I'm going to call it a first impressions review. I played this game around, 26 times, and I still expect that probably in a year or two I'll make a proper review of this. I'm just going to touch on a lot of topics that I think are worth mentioning, say if there's something I like or not, so let's go. First, the theme. Basically, an alien race, or more than one alien race, is attacking humanity. We are close to being wiped out, something like that. And you're in space, you're a pilot in a huge fleet, and you enlisted and you're going to help fight the alien menace. But something happens. Somehow you get lost in space, you're completely alone. While trying to get back, you just find the alien ores. You find the mothership with every ship, and the only thing you can do is try to survive and destroy them. So yeah, the story is a bit stupid, but it's cool. But yeah, it's a bit stupid because humanity is fighting this alien menace. They can't really kill them, but somehow you end up completely alone and you find them, you're going to take them out. Okay. But yeah, the thing is, the theme is cool, stupid, but cool. The art, it's not my favorite art, but at the same time I really like it. I enjoy the colors, I enjoy how everything is made. So, theme, positive for me, that's personal, but it works, it comes through. Art, positive, but again, another personal thing that depends on you. Then let's touch on one of the most important things. This is a bag builder. Basically, you select a ship and you select an enemy, a boss enemy, and then you select a couple of, and then you randomize a deck of small enemies that you're going to defeat to get to the boss. And each ship works in a way where they have certain tokens that will be available to you to buy, and then you start with some basic ones, you take 5 of them out and you try to use them to destroy the enemies and then destroy the boss. And every turn you can lose tokens, but you can also buy new ones. You can also get new ones when you destroy enemies, which is really cool. And you go back and forward. I'm not going to go in depth on the gameplay, but you go back and forward building your bag, destroying enemies, and every boss is unique. Every boss has a different ability that it can use, has different conditions for taking him down, but basically you play until you're strong enough to take out the boss. Another important thing, because of the name, it's called Warp's Edge, because you can do a warp, and the warp is basically when you go back in time and you start again. Every single session plays in a way that you have like 4 warps that you can go through, and it's kind of a time limit, even though it's not a time limit, it's related to gameplay, but every time you reach one of the end, you go back to another warp, and you have a limited number of warps to finish the game, and depending on the boss and everything, there's changes from warp to warp. But that's it. Basically, it's a bag builder. It's one of the simplest ones. I think I'm not big into bag builders. This was my first bag builder. This was also one of my first solo games, and I really recommend it if you're going to try a solo game and you like bag building or you want to try it. This is really a cool game. So the mechanic of bag building, I love it. It's a real plus for this one. Another thing that I really love, it's the variety. You have like 4 spaceships here. They're all really different. They all play really different. Each one of those spaceships that you can use also can be used with several different strategies. Like you have a series of tokens that are unique to each ship, and you never really use all of them. Various strategies are possible. I've been playing this a lot, and I'm still finding new stuff. There's some spaceships that I've not even really played a lot of, hence the first impressions. So on the variety side, on the ships, it's really cool. Then there's also the enemies. You have like 5 enemies. They are all really different. They present different challenges. They are all really cool. So variety, awesome. Now let's get to some things that are not so good, or maybe so-so. So first, the components. In a way, this is really cool. This is a really cool box. Everything inside here is really cool. It's really well made. I don't want to come across as negative, but at the same time, you're playing a bag builder, and your ships or the tokens that you put in the bag, they are cardboard, and they are not bad. They are good, but they are cardboard. And a game like this, having real tokens like acrylic or wood or whatever, it's just so more satisfying. Would elevate this game so much that's the only reason I'm saying that this is not super big one for me. I would really hope they add that. They actually have some tokens for you to buy, but they've been out of stock, I don't know, for years, so it's really impossible to get them, and I've just been really sad about that. Also, there are some trays where you put the tokens that you then can buy them from the trays, and those trays are really cool. They are really low quality, but they work. They keep the game organized, and overall this is a plus, but I wish it was better. So that's it for components. Now I'm going to touch on the last two things that I really did not like about this game. First is the rulebook. The rulebook, and that seems to be a problem with Scott Almes games. This is actually one of his most cleanest games, but still, there's some stuff in here, there's some nitpicks, there's some details about the rules. Not everything is 100% straightforward, and the rulebook doesn't really do a bad job on explaining that. It's really probable that if you're going to play this, your first 10 plays, you're going to play it wrong. And then you're going to realize it watching a video. And your next 10 plays will be better, but you'll realize you'll still be playing things wrong. For such a simple game, that it's an easy game, there's some complexity, there's some depth in there, and there's some things that are really not clear in the rulebook. And this is normally a problem I've heard with the Solo Hero series, also maybe with Renegade Studios, and with Scott Almes games overall, because they tend to be a bit convoluted. This is, from all the games I've tried of him, I think this is my favorite, and it's also one of my favorite games of all time, so don't let the rulebook dissuade you. It's not that hard of a game, and there's tons of resources on BGG and on the web and on YouTube for you to learn the game properly. So, rulebook, a minus, but could be worse. Then, the storybook, and this is the part of the game that, Jesus Christ, what the fuck were they thinking? There's a storybook inside, it's bigger than the rulebook, and there's tons of story there. And I was really excited about it because I thought it was a campaign. And I thought, oh my god, I love this game, and now I also have a campaign, so I can actually play different scenarios with a story. So that's cool, instead of just randomly playing them. But no, the storybook, it's just so stupid, I'm sorry to say. I think it's really stupid. It's basically a big old story that you read, I don't know, in 20 minutes. I don't remember how much time it took me. And as you read the story, there's like different options you can take. There's like 3 or 4 points where the story, there's a dual choice ramification, and you can choose one option or the other, and you go through that story, and then there's another option. So not anything too big, but there's like 3 or 4 choices. I don't remember. And the thing is, you go through that story, you read it to yourself, you go through those choices, and at the end of the story, they tell you, okay, since you went through this story and through these choices, it means you're going to play this spaceship against this enemy, and your starting player powers, because there are player powers here, are going to be these two. And I'm like, did I just read a story of 30 minutes to tell me a way to randomize how I start the game instead of me choosing it? Really? Did he really do that? Jesus Christ. That just felt so stupid. I felt like I spent 30 minutes of my life to be disappointed. I don't know, the story is cool, it's well written. Just would have been so much better if the story just put you in a game, then told you a story, then put you in another game, instead of making you just spend time to make a setup. And what you expect, that I'm going to read the same story every time, just to do a different setup? Come on, it just seems so stupid. I have no idea what they were thinking. And it's something I've really never seen mentioned about when see people reviewing this game, so I think it's something people just forgot what it was in the box, because they really enjoyed this game. It's a really cool game and nobody wants to hate it, so they just forget that part. Still, the game could probably be cheaper if that storybook was not in here, and it could be a cool one if they just did something cool with it. So those are my 2 minus. Now it's time for me to score this game, and I'm scoring this game, I think I'm still scoring this game a 10. Every time I played it since buying it, I've always been going between a 9 and a 10, and honestly, I think it deserves to be a 10. Yeah, some things are not perfect, the rulebook could be better, the components could be better, but that's nitpicking. It is an awesome game. It's one of the best buys I've ever made in board gaming. It's actually not that... it's a cheap game for what it offers. It's a really cool game, it's a really cool back builder. I just love this game. I highly recommend it, and maybe one day I'll do another review of it. Who knows? But yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to do reviews more in this style, a bit different, try to make them faster, just go through stuff I like and don't like, instead of scripting everything like I normally do. Yeah man, it's better because you shit anyway, so why script shit? At least you'll appear the less dumb if people think you're just flowing, man. Take it from me, man. The coolest there is. Yeah, but that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed this one. As always, play more games and stay awesome.